Hi, welcome to Let's Cook Today. I'm excited because it's Valentine's Day. Oh, my heart is going pitter-pat, pitter-pat. I love Valentine's Day. Did you know that 85% of the revenue that is spent on cards is spent by women on Valentine's Day? So guys, I think we need to get a little bit of a balance going there. I'm going to be giving you a little bit of trivia throughout the show today. Now, the catalyst, or the way I came up with this show, is I was talking to Jackie, my son's girlfriend. I said, Jackie, if you were going to have a romantic dinner, if Greg was going to do something romantic for you, what would he do? She said, oh, he'd do a salad, and he'd do seafood and some white wine. So I went shopping, and I said, okay, I think we're going to make a little bit of a bisque. And then we're going to do something with shrimp and spinach, and we're going to just do some nice seafood with a great bottle of white wine. So that's what we're doing today on Let's Cook for this Valentine's Day show. Now, the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to heat this pan right here, and I have a lobster tail right here. Now, the lobster tail, because I bought lobster stock to make my bisque, I'm just going to take scissors and cut the underside. It's much easier to cut the underside of the lobster this way and then just break this open this way. Be careful because they can be very sharp. As a matter of fact, let me get a towel. And because if you're going to break this open, these can cut in. These are very sharp here. See how sharp these are here? These are very sharp. They can cut you, so you just grab it with a towel, and you can split it open this way, get it started this way, and then you can just pull the tail out while it's still raw, because we're actually going to sear this tail. So once you have the bottom split this way, go in here, and see how we're able to pull the tail out without tearing it. You don't really want to tear the tail, and you get the entire tail out. Another way you can do it, if you don't like that way, show you another way. Another way is you can just take it using a French knife, come into the bottom of the tail this way, take your knife, go all the way down through this way, you cut it all the way in half, it splits open this way, and again, you're going to get in and get the tail out. Now, if you buy lobster tails and they're frozen, which they're going to be, because unless you live up in Maine, I don't know where you're going to get fresh lobster tails, or Rhode Island, or you go to a specialty store and spend a lot of money. Make sure you defrost them in the refrigerator or in cold water. And defrost them right before you're going to use them. Don't defrost them 2 days ahead, because they go through a process known as autolysis. And the autolysis causes them to break down very quickly. They don't have a lot of connective tissue. So I have my pan nice and hot here. All I'm going to do now is season my lobster with a combination of salt and white pepper here. And I'm just going to drop it in the pan here that's nice and hot. Now, by the way, if you were doing this, you would be doing this when your soup was already done, but I already have one done here, so I'm just starting to sear these now, so at the end of this segment I can show you the presentation on this. The other thing you need to do is, while your lobster is searing over here, you need to take a little bit of the oil and baste it while it's searing. Don't just assume that it's going to cook nicely this way. We want to baste it and make sure it cooks well. So I'm just going to turn this down now. Let that just cook up very gently. I'll show you now how we make the bisque. First of all, you want to keep your life simple. You're going to buy your own lobster stock or fish stock. You can go to the specialty department of a supermarket. You can buy that. You don't necessarily have to make that, especially for Valentine's Day. Now, I'm heating my pan right here, and into this pan right now, I'm just going to take and put a little bit of butter. Into this butter that I have in here, I'm also going to add some garlic and shallots. So here goes my garlic, here goes my shallots, and a little bit of tomato paste. We're going to let this cook just a little bit here. Then to this now, we add a little bit of white wine. Let the tomato brown up just a little bit, which is starting to do now. Hit this with a little bit of white wine. Just enough to coat the bottom of the pan. Let this cook off almost till it's dry. Then we add our lobster stock. And we also add our heavy cream to this. You're going to allow this to come up to a simmer and cook for about a half an hour. Just about a half an hour. That's going to bring all the flavors together. After it's cooked for about a half an hour, this is exactly what it looks like right here. So you see how this one looks here with the great color that we have, the great consistency? The only thing we have to do now is thicken this with a little bit of cornstarch. So while it's simmering now, you're going to take your cornstarch. I'm just loosening this up right here. You're going to take your cornstarch, add a little bit of cornstarch to this, just to thicken it. Very fast way of making a bisque, especially if you don't have to make the stock yourself. So see how we just add enough cornstarch till we have, I'll show you my nappe consistency right here. I have this beautiful nappe consistency. See that? Coats the back of a spoon, beautiful. You're going to allow this to simmer for roughly about 3 minutes. Coming over here, I'm looking at my lobster tails now. Just going to turn these over. Now, once I've turned these over, I'm going to hit this with a splash of white wine. Turn this down so that they're barely simmering, and this is going to allow them to finish cooking. Let me get my bowl now, because now I'm ready to present my lobster bisque right here. I'm going to use this beautiful bowl right here. So now here we have our bisque. Tails are almost ready. The only thing else I would do at the very end, a little bit of butter, and if you want, you could add a nice fortified wine, put a little bit of Madeira in here if you wanted. A little bit of sherry would be very nice, but a little bit of whole butter in there. Let's see what this looks like. This is great. And if you want to impress your girlfriend, I know Jackie's going to be impressed. Put that in the bowl, and then let's get one of our lobster tails right over here that we've seared very nicely. Just going to take this now, and again, you can hold these in the oven, and you just slice this and get this on top of the soup. So let me start to slice this, and while I'm slicing this, I think we have to take a little break. So I really have to go to break now because we have a lot of food to make today on Let's Cook for Valentine Seafood. So let's take that little break, and then when we come back, I'm going to show you another great item to go with this seafood Valentine today on Let's Cook. We'll be right back. Hi, welcome back to Let's Cook, where we are doing seafood Valentine. Now, we're going to make the salad now. So basically, I'm going to make a basic French dressing. I'm going to take just a little bit of mustard here. To the mustard, I also like a little bit of cayenne pepper, not too much. A little bit of lemon juice. Also a little bit of vinegar. I like to use both. I'm going to use some extra virgin olive oil here. Just kind of add this into our dressing so we have the proper flavor. And then the ingredients for this salad, also I need a little bit of salt in there. You know, everybody should have a cooking show, especially for Valentine's, where they can stand back like this. Could you imagine in your kitchen standing back like this and going like this and throwing salt? Everybody should be able to do that. It's so much fun. It's so relieving of stress, especially when you're making this romantic meal for your loved one for Valentine's Day. Okay, great. So we have our dressing made. Next, on my plate right here, I have some beautiful snow pod or snow pea sprouts that I picked up at the store, and I'm going to use these as a base for this salad. So we'll just set them up onto the plate. This is going to give us some nice sweetness and nice texture. So now my plate is ready to go with those. Now I need to cut my vegetables to go into the dressing. So we'll just clear off our cutting board here. I'm going to take a little bit of red onion with this. Now remember, this is only for two. All the recipes on Let's Cook today are for two, because hopefully when you're doing Valentine's Day, you're just doing it for two. Come, bring our knife here. We're just going to dice up our red onion here. Dice this up well. It's nice and fresh, nice and cold out of the refrigerator is also a good idea for the red onion. That way your salad will also be nice and cold. So I have my red onion right here. I'm going to use equal quantities of red onion, tomato. Now my tomato, notice, when I take my knife through, I go this way, but I don't cut all the way through to the bottom. I stop right there. See? Again, this is almost like the throwing of salt. It's pure therapy. We just take our knife, we run it through, not going all the way through. And I'm leaving, normally, if I really wanted to impress somebody, I would blanch and peel this tomato. And you can do that as well. Take our tomato right here again, equal quantities to our red onion, right there. Last but not least, we have our avocado. The avocado, take our knife. We'll cut through here till we come to the pit right here. Going to break this open like this, and with this spoon, we come in. We just pull the avocado out this way. Where we have the pit right here, in with your knife, and just be careful when you're doing this. Pull the pit away. Then when you go to get rid of this pit, hold it down. Don't try and pull it off. It's slippery. Hit it with something here so that the pit goes off. Come right in here. We'll take out this avocado as well. Now again, with this whole salad, everything is going to be very, again, Valentine's Day, user-friendly. So we're going to dice this up as well, making sure we have no pit or anything at all there. Take our avocado now, cut this up into small dice, and also this is a Haas avocado, not a Florida avocado. Make sure that it is nice and ripe, and you can buy these ahead, up to 2 weeks ahead, and just put them in a cool, dark place, and they will ripen up for you. So now we have our avocado here. So easy. All of this just goes right into our dressing here. Beautiful. Now the avocado itself, I know, can take a little bit more salt. Here we go. Oh, so happy. Take a spoon, we toss this together. Then if you have any chopped parsley, chives, scallions, just add that at the very end. Doesn't this salad look alive? Look at the salad. Looks alive. Here, there we go. Give that one, beautiful. Look how alive that looks. Excellent. Serve this up. Watch how nice this looks on the plate. Just come right over here. And by the way, this will be just as good the next day. Absolutely good. So, based on your Valentine's Day, you could use this as a salad that night, or if you want to have this for breakfast the next day with a little toasted French bread, it would go just as well. I know this isn't seafood, but it does definitely go with our Valentine's Day seafood today. We're going to take a little break, and then when we come back, we have oyster stuffed shrimp for your Valentine's Day. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Hi, welcome back to Let's Cook. Now, we have some great stuff going on here. First thing that I have going on to make my oyster stuffed shrimp is I have some shallots and butter in a pan here. To this now, I'm going to take some oysters and I'm going to quickly saute them. So I'm taking these oysters and I'm putting them in some seasoned flour right here, and we're just going to drop them into this pan just for a second. Oh, ever so quickly. I have 6 oysters right here that are fresh shucked. Take my tongs. The butter, I don't want too much browning here, but then I take my oysters. They go once, they go whoom, right into the pan. And by the time I have the last oyster in here, they're going to actually be ready to come out. Shake off that excess flour. Make sure you get rid of that excess flour. Beautiful. Drop these in. There, my last one is in, and they're already ready to start being turned and come out, because all I'm going to do is curl the edges on these ever so quickly. I don't want to just put them in the oven on top of the shrimp raw. Out these come. Remember, these are still uncooked, and you might be saying, Paul, they're uncooked. Yes, because we don't want them to overcook in the oven. So I remove these now. Now to my pan, I'm going to add a little bit of spinach. Remember, now there's garlic, shallots, a little bit of butter and oil in there. Now I have a little bit of stock right here, some seafood stock. Remember the lobster stock that I made the bisque with? Just going to take and wilt our spinach ever so gently. Once our spinach is wilted and it's nice and soft like this, just take it now, put this into a bowl. Perfect. Doesn't this look great? Oh, fantastic. And now this is a great item to make. Now to this now, I have a little bit of cheese right here. Just going to take the cheese, and I'm going to use the cheese as a binding agent. So I need maybe about, 2 ounces of cheese here. I really don't need too much. Just enough to kind of tighten that up a little bit. That's enough cheese right there. So now I'm going to, and any cheese you have, even if it was brie or goat cheese, this is a Swiss-style cheese that I'm using. This is now good to go. All we do is toss this together. See how nice and moist that looks? Great, doesn't it? Beautiful. Next, let's get our shrimp ready. to get our shrimp ready, first of all, we have to peel them. When you go to peel the shrimp, we're going to leave the last end of the tail section on here. Come up underneath with your thumb, go 3 sections, 1, 2, 3, go 2 more sections here, bring it around. Then you just take this and you pull those legs right off. These shells you can use to flavor your stock with, or you can add them to your lobster stock as long as you strain them off. We now take these, make a simple cut along the back here, pull back gently on the shrimp and get rid of any of that digestive tract that's in there. Okay, get rid of that. Take these, we butterfly these. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to set these up in the pan. Have a saute pan right here, an oven-capable pan. I just put a little bit of oil in there. And we'll take our shrimp. We set our shrimp up right in the pan. Now, what's good about this is if you're doing this for Valentine's Day, you can do this ahead and have this all set up in your refrigerator, just the way I'm going to have it set up now. When your date comes over, whoever you're entertaining for Valentine's, when they come over, all you have to do is pop this in the oven. About 12 minutes if it's out of the refrigerator, 8 minutes if you're making it fresh. Which kind of gives me a nice segue to Valentine's Day. Did you know that, whoops, need a spoon with this. If there's a myth or there's a story that if you're outside on Valentine's Day and a robin flies over your head, that you might marry a certain individual, or if a goldfinch does, or if, so for instance, let me get back to this. I'll just go to the robin first. If a robin flies over your head on Valentine's Day, there's a myth that you'll marry a sailor. If a sparrow flies over your head, that means you're going to marry somebody with no money, but you're going to be very happy. Sounds good to me. And if you goldfinch flies over your head on Valentine's Day, you're going to marry somebody who's going to be a millionaire, or will be a millionaire. Great idea, isn't it? Okay, so we have our spinach right there. Now we're just going to take our oysters right here, put our oysters on top. And while I'm getting the oysters on top here, let's just go over the ingredients so far that we've used to make this. We have the shallots, the garlic, the spinach, a little bit of the stock, the cheese, the oysters. Very easy, isn't it? The only thing is when it goes into the oven, put a little bit of wine in here because you want that wine to cook down so that you can make a sauce. I'm going to pop these in a 350-degree oven. They'll be in there for roughly about 8 minutes, and we're going to take a little break. Then when we come back, I'll show you how we take the shrimp out of the oven and we make a nice, very simple sauce to go with your seafood Valentine's. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Oh, hi. Welcome back to Let's Cook. I'm here with Jacqueline, my son's girlfriend. Jacqueline, you were the catalyst in having me make this meal. So we did this great salad here with the avocado, red onion, tomato, and snow. That looks really good. Doesn't it? Yeah. And then we made the bisque as well. And would you like, I have some extra bisque here. Would you like to taste that? There's a spoon right there, Jackie. Okay. And while you're doing that, I'm going to go ahead and finish the sauce here to go with the oysters and spinach stuffed shrimp. We have just some pan juices here, Jackie. Doesn't it so good? A little bit of butter.
That looks really good.
So, I'm just wondering, I was talking to you yesterday before I came up with this meal, and you told me what to make. How is it? Good? Is it really good?
It's amazing.
Oh, good. And Greg, are you going to make this for Jackie for Valentine's?
No way.
Jackie, what do you think?
He is.
He is?
He is.
He definitely is. I thought he might say, I don't have to, Dad. You already did it. Okay, here we are. We're just going to finish the oysters here with the natural sauce, thicken with just a little bit of butter here on top of the shrimp. You're going to try one of these too, Jackie?
Okay.
Okay. So, and you know what I have? We have about a half a minute left here. I even have, because you also mentioned, she mentioned white wine too, so I'm going to pour you a little bit of white wine. Okay, so we'll just give you a little bit of white wine. You need the white wine, nice dry Chardonnay, to go with the bisque, the shrimp and the oysters, and the avocado salad. Well, today was Valentine's Day on Let's Cook Seafood, that is. That's how we described it. We have to say goodbye. We're going to wave goodbye. Greg, come over here. Wave goodbye with us, please. Here's my son, Greg, his girlfriend, Jackie. Thanks everybody for watching Let's Cook You. Have a great day and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye for now.